Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Jamie the Crafty DIY Guy. Welcome back to my channel. All right, everybody, I don't know about you, but I have been spending the last, it feels like 3 months trying to get my craft room organized, and I have to give it up to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. I'm so thankful that I have this machine and that I'm able to implement some of these very easy organizational ideas for you guys. Now, if you don't have a machine, don't worry about it because a lot of these are very, very easy. And of course, if you are thinking about buying a machine, there are some links in the description box below where you can get your very own Cricut machine as well. Or maybe you can, link it and send it to Santa Claus, or maybe there's an anniversary or a birthday or all of that jazz coming up. Now, for those of you that are wondering, what the heck's a Cricut? Maybe you've not heard of a Cricut, or maybe you're even brand new to crafting. Cricut is a smart cutting machine that allows you to create personalized projects with literally hundreds of materials. It works with a software that's called Design Space, and it comes free with your machine. And now this is where you actually create your projects and you get to browse from hundreds of images and fonts that are available to you. And then once you've created your design, Design Space will actually send it to your machine and cut out everything for you. It is amazing. And I really love working with mine. I am still learning mine. That is the greatest thing about Cricut. You can go at your own speed with it. And I'm telling you what I was able to implement by using some items that I picked up like from my local dollar store just to be able to kind of coordinate and get everything organized with. It is perfection, and I'm excited to show it to you today. Now, as I've mentioned, I have had a crafting disaster on my hands, and my craft room has been a little challenging, and I spent a lot of time going through and kind of separating things into these great bins that I picked up. They ended up getting messy over some time, and now I'm actually going to fix this by labeling these bins, and I'm going to use my Cricut Maker 3 to do that. I also found these fantastic plastic bins that are actually large enough to hold my rolls of vinyl, and check this out. They fit perfectly right into my shelving system here, and because of their low profile, they'll actually work in a lot of different areas. Now, they open from the front, and unfortunately that front side doesn't work, but the side view here I actually like better because that gives me much more room to label, and I'm all about easy labeling. So, of course, the very first thing I'm going to do is jump into Design Space. I'm just going to be using a very simple font for this. And Cricut offers so many different fonts within their library that I can literally pick from. And it's fantastic because you can play around with the sizing, you can play around with the specs, you can unlock it, and you can, make it taller or shorter or wider. There's a lot of really fun and very, very easy ways that you can make your labels work perfectly for you. Now, I'm tackling those larger bins right away, and I'm trying to think out of the materials I have, which are the materials that I use the most? And obviously, I'm using a lot of removable vinyl. I'm also using a lot of permanent vinyl, and I'm using even a lot of transfer tape and there's scrapbook papering and my Cricut papering and Cricut materials, and there's so many different things that you can use. There's wood, there's metal. I mean, there's all kinds of materials that you can use with your Cricut Maker 3. And for me, I decided to go ahead and have smart vinyl, transfer tape, permanent, and removable. Now, I did go back through and fix my typo, so don't worry about that. And I was able to go through and just make my labels and adjust the size and make them perfect, not only for my bins, but also for, my own kind of visual interest. Now, I simply just followed all of the prompts on my Cricut Maker 3 and let my Cricut Maker 3 do all the work by cutting out this vinyl. And I decided to go with this great purple vinyl. This is actually a removable vinyl. And what's so good about this vinyl is that if I decide to relabel those containers, or maybe I find that I'm using, way too much permanent vinyl versus removable vinyl, I can switch this up. And that is the greatest thing about the removable vinyl. Now, I'm just watching my Cricut Maker 3 do all of the work. It is cutting out everything, and then once it is done, I can take it back to my workstation. Now, the great thing also about the Cricut Maker 3 is that you can use either the smart vinyl materials without your mat, or you can use a mat like I've got here. I upgraded from my Cricut Maker to the Cricut Maker 3, and I can still use all of the materials that I have from that. So I cut away my excess vinyl, and now I'm just kind of doing a quick peel here and weeding out all of this other vinyl that I'm not going to be needing. And then I'm just going to take my weeding tools and just simply go through and just kind of expose all of those letters that I'm going to be using on my plastic bins. And what's so great about this is, honestly, this is so therapeutic. It sounds crazy, but I think all of my other cricketers out there will fully understand that this is just something that is just fun to do. I actually love it. It's kind of like seeing your project come alive, really. So after I've got everything weeded out, then I'm going to go ahead and take my transfer tape and just apply that over top. And then I peeled that away from my mat. And now all I'm going to do is cut these out individually. And you'll want to obviously be careful so you don't cut through your vinyl. The great thing about Design Space too is that if I wanted to give myself a little bit more space, I could have easily done that as well, and then welded it together to kind of create a little more spacing. The great thing about the Cricut Maker 3, and really all of the Cricut machines, is that it does allow you to maximize the vinyl that you're using. Now I just took my transfer tape, I'm just applying it to the bins and making sure that all of that vinyl is adhering to those plastic bins, and then I am going to slowly start to reveal. And you're going to take your weeding tools and everything, and you're just going to make sure that your vinyl has really good contact with whatever surface you are applying it to. And as you will see, eventually you'll be able to remove that transfer tape, and you've got something that looks amazing. And then if you have any little snafus or errors, that transfer tape really helps keep things in place. So you can go back through and really fix that and apply it. And you can use your fingers, you can use your tools that Cricut provides. There's all kinds of fantastic things that you can do to make this process really, really easy. And then you've got great bins that are all labeled and ready to go. And what I love about these bins in particular is that they're 14 inches wide, and the smart vinyl rolls are about 13 inches. So this really allows you to maximize and store all of your vinyl. Isn't that amazing? I absolutely love the way that all of my materials fit in here. And again, I can keep it in this shelving unit. I can put it in my closet if I want to. Now we are going to start working on those bins. Once again, I went back into Design Space, and I'm going to create the labels that fit for the project that I'm using. Now, I was able to get those tags at my local dollar store, so I'm going to find a font once again that I like. I'm going to play around with it, and because I know I have 12 bins, I am going to label them kind of how I've categorized everything within those bins. Once again, I'm going to leave a little bit more space this time. That way I can cut through that transfer tape and transfer these onto the tags themselves. And then once again, I'm just simply following all of the prompts on my Cricut Maker 3. And guess what? We're going to let the Cricut Maker 3 cut out everything, and it is going to be amazing. What I really love about this too is that this particular vinyl is actually the permanent vinyl, but also I love this bright glossy white that I'm using because it's really going to pop off of those black labels that I'm going to be using. Now, again, weeding everything away, pulling off any of that excess that I just don't need, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to start weeding away my words, and you will see those words start to come to life. And as you can see here, they are going to pop against this black tag, which is going to be perfection. Now, this tag actually has two sides to it. There's a little rougher side and there's a smoother side. So the smoother side I found actually works better with the transfer tape, and it actually doesn't tear the cardboard on there either, which I think is amazing. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut out by just individual strips. I actually had some strips of transfer tape that were left over from a previous project. So as you can see there, I'm just going to transfer it onto that transfer tape. And then I'm going to pull out my label that I've got for my wood items, and I am just going to apply the transfer tape right on top of this tag. And then I do take my Cricut tools, and I am just going to be going over the lettering, and you'll see here kind of how I'm doing that. And I'm doing that kind of on purpose because I really want the letters to stick. I don't want the transfer tape to risk tearing anything. And you can do this actually with a lot of different materials. I know sometimes when you paint something, for example, sometimes your transfer tape might pull away some of the paint, but this technique that I've kind of done with multiple projects actually works really, really well. So just use your Cricut tools, just go right over the lettering, and then when you peel this away, you are going to have a fantastic label that's going to look amazing, and it's also going to help you stay organized. Look how amazing this is. I'm so happy with the way this turned out, and I just simply repeated the process for every single one of my labels until I had enough labels to get myself organized and to literally start to have a plan of attack whenever I am crafting. Now I will know where everything is. I will know what's in each bin. I will know when I do a shopping haul of some kind at the craft store that I need to put things away in their proper bins. And then, of course, my Cricut materials now are easy, grab and go. I can take these to my workstation. I can very easily put everything away when I'm done with it. And the great thing is that I was able to do this all with my Cricut Maker 3. Definitely check it out below, and I hope that you really enjoyed this video. All right, you guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you are one of my long-term subscribers, you know I call you guys my OGs. Thank you so much for sticking around. That just means you're a part of the original gang. If you're brand new to the channel, my name is Jamie. Hopefully you will give this video a thumbs up, and you'll also subscribe to my channel. All right, guys, until next time, I will talk to you soon. And let me know in the comments below if you currently have a Cricut machine. Which one do you have? And if you don't have one, let me know which one you plan on getting. All right, take care. Bye-bye.